The Faceless Man of Bragg Road, a Texas legend. As twilight descends upon the dense pine forests of East Texas, a lone car creeps along the narrow, unpaved stretch known as Bragg Road. The driver's knuckles whiten as they grip the steering wheel, eyes darting nervously between the road ahead and the rearview mirror. Suddenly, a faint glow appears in the distance, bobbing gently above the gravel. As the light draws nearer, the unmistakable silhouette of a man materializes, his arm outstretched, holding what appears to be an old-fashioned lantern. But something is terribly wrong with this figure. Where his head should be, there is only empty space. Welcome to Ghost Road, home of the Faceless Man of Bragg Road. Nestled in the heart of Hardin County, Texas, Bragg Road stretches for 8 miles through the Big Thicket National Preserve. This isolated dirt path, officially known as Farm to Market Road 1293, has a rich and complex history that predates the chilling legend of the Faceless Man. The road's origins can be traced back to the early 20th century, when it served as a railroad bed for the Santa Fe Railroad. The tracks were laid in 1902 to facilitate the booming lumber industry in the region. For over 2 decades, the railroad ferried massive loads of timber from the dense forests of the Big Thicket to sawmills in nearby towns. However, as the Great Depression gripped the nation and the lumber industry declined, the railroad fell into disuse. In 1934, the tracks were removed, leaving behind the elevated dirt path that would become Bragg Road. The area's isolation and the road's history as an abandoned railway line set the stage for the eerie tales that would soon follow. The legend of the Faceless Man began to take shape in the late 1930s and early 1940s. Local residents and travelers along the secluded road started reporting strange sightings of a ghostly figure carrying a lantern. These encounters quickly became the talk of nearby communities, with each retelling adding new layers of mystery and intrigue to the growing legend. On a crisp autumn evening in 1941, John Hargrove, a local farmer, was driving home along Bragg Road after a long day at the market in Beaumont. As he navigated the twists and turns of the narrow dirt path, his headlights illuminated something unusual in the distance, a faint, yellowish glow hovering just above the ground. Intrigued and slightly unnerved, John slowed his truck to a crawl. As he inched closer, the light began to take shape. To his astonishment, he saw what appeared to be a man walking along the side of the road, swinging an old railroad lantern in a slow, methodical arc. John's curiosity quickly turned to horror as he realized that the figure had no head. Where the man's head should have been, there was only empty space, a void that seemed to absorb the light from John's headlights. Panic-stricken, John slammed on the accelerator and sped past the apparition, his heart pounding in his chest. When he finally reached home, John's wife, Martha, was shocked by his pale complexion and trembling hands. After calming down, John recounted his terrifying experience. Martha, skeptical at first, became increasingly concerned as she noticed the genuine fear in her husband's eyes. Word of John's encounter spread quickly through the small community. Some dismissed it as the product of an overactive imagination, or perhaps one too many drinks at the market. Others, however, began to recall their own strange experiences along Bragg Road. Unexplained lights, eerie sounds, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. As more people came forward with their stories, a pattern began to emerge. The ghostly figure was almost always described as a man of average height, dressed in what appeared to be early 20th century work clothes. He invariably carried a lantern, swinging it back and forth as if searching for something, and most chillingly, in every account, the figure lacked a head. Local historians and folklorists began to investigate the phenomenon, seeking a rational explanation for the sightings. Some suggested that the light could be swamp gas or bioluminescent fungi, natural phenomena that could create the illusion of a floating light. Others pointed to the road's history as a railroad, theorizing that the ghost might be the spirit of a worker killed in a tragic accident. One particularly compelling theory emerged from an old newspaper article dated 1902. The article described a gruesome accident during the construction of the Santa Fe Railroad. A young worker named Thomas Bragg, no relation to the road's namesake, was decapitated in a freak accident involving a malfunctioning piece of equipment. According to the article, Thomas's body was found quickly, but his head was never recovered. This tragic story seemed to fit perfectly with the legend of the Faceless Man. Many speculated that Thomas's restless spirit continued to search for his missing head, explaining the ghostly figure's apparent lack of a head in the swinging lantern. As the legend grew, so did the number of curious thrill-seekers who ventured onto Bragg Road after dark, hoping to catch a glimpse of the Faceless Man. Some returned with tales of their own encounters, while others left disappointed but no less intrigued by the mystery. In 1957, Sarah Collins, a local high school student, had a particularly harrowing experience that would cement the legend in local lore. Sarah and a group of friends decided to drive down Bragg Road late one Saturday night on a dare. As they approached the midpoint of the road, their car suddenly sputtered and died. Stranded in the pitch-black forest, the teenagers huddled in the car, their nervous laughter masking their growing fear. Suddenly, Sarah spotted a faint light in the distance. Relief washed over her as she assumed it was another car coming to their rescue. But as the light drew nearer, Sarah's relief turned to terror. The bobbing lantern illuminated a figure walking towards them, a figure without a head. Sarah and her friends screamed in unison as the apparition approached their car. Just as it reached the driver's side window, the ghostly figure vanished, leaving behind only the lingering scent of sulfur and burned wood. The teenagers' car mysteriously started again, and they sped away from the scene, vowing never to return to Bragg Road. Sarah's account, corroborated by her friends, became one of the most widely circulated stories about the Faceless Man, inspiring countless others to seek out their own encounters. Over the decades, the legend of the Faceless Man has become an integral part of East Texas folklore. It has inspired books, documentaries, and even a low-budget horror film. Local tourism boards have embraced the legend, promoting Bragg Road as a must-visit destination for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. In the 1990s, a team of paranormal investigators conducted a series of overnight studies on Bragg Road. While they were unable to capture definitive evidence of the Faceless Man, they reported several unexplained phenomena, including electromagnetic anomalies and sudden temperature drops. One of the investigators, Dr. Emily Roth, described a particularly unnerving experience during their final night of research. "We were packing up our equipment when I saw a light in the distance," she recounted. "At first, I thought it was one of our team members, but as it got closer, I realized it was moving in a way that seemed unnatural. The light swayed back and forth, like an old lantern, and then I saw it, a figure carrying the light. But where its head should have been, there was nothing, just empty darkness." Dr. Roth's account reignited interest in the legend, leading to a new wave of amateur ghost hunters descending upon Bragg Road. Local authorities concerned about safety implemented stricter regulations for nighttime visitors, but this did little to deter the most determined seekers of the supernatural. In recent years, the proliferation of smartphones and social media has led to an increase in alleged photographic and video evidence of the Faceless Man. While many of these can be easily debunked as hoaxes or misidentified natural phenomena, a few remain unexplained, fueling continued speculation and debate. One such piece of evidence is a video captured by Mark Thompson, a wildlife photographer, in 2018. Thompson had set up a motion-activated camera along Bragg Road, hoping to capture footage of the area's nocturnal animals. Instead, his camera recorded a strange glowing orb moving across the frame, followed by a shadowy figure that appeared to lack a head. The video, which has since gone viral, remains a topic of heated discussion among both believers and skeptics. Local resident Emma Lawson, whose family has lived in the area for generations, offers a more pragmatic view of the legend. "Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the story of the Faceless Man is part of our heritage," she says. "It reminds us of the hardships faced by the workers who built this road and the dangers they encountered. In a way, it keeps their memory alive. Indeed, the legend has become so ingrained in local culture that an annual festival, the Bragg Road Ghost Light Festival, is held every October. The event features ghost tours, storytelling sessions, and a lantern-lit walk along the infamous road. While some criticize the commercialization of the legend, others argue that it helps preserve an important piece of local folklore. As for the truth behind the legend, opinions remain divided. Skeptics point to the power of suggestion, and the human tendency to see patterns in random phenomena. They argue that the ghost light is likely a combination of headlights from distant cars, bioluminescent organisms, and the vivid imaginations of visitors primed to see something supernatural. Believers, on the other hand, insist that the sheer number of consistent sightings over nearly a century cannot be dismissed so easily. They argue that there are aspects of our world that science has yet to explain fully, and that the faceless man of Bragg Road may be one such mystery. As night falls once again on Bragg Road, the dense forest seems to close in, creating a tunnel of darkness broken only by the occasional flicker of fireflies. The gravel crunches under tires as another car slowly makes its way down the infamous stretch, its occupants scanning the shadows for any sign of the legendary faceless man. Whether a product of tragic history, natural phenomena, or something truly supernatural, the legend of the faceless man continues to captivate the imagination of locals and visitors alike. It serves as a reminder of the power of storytelling and the human desire to find meaning in the unexplained. As you ponder the tale of the faceless man, consider this. If you found yourself driving down Bragg Road late one night and saw a light in the distance, what would you do? Would you speed away, or would curiosity compel you to investigate? And if you did catch a glimpse of a headless figure carrying a lantern, would you believe your eyes? The mystery of the faceless man of Bragg Road remains unsolved, inviting each new generation to explore, question, and wonder about the secrets that may lurk in the shadows of this unassuming dirt road in East Texas. If you enjoyed this chilling tale of the faceless man of Bragg Road, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories of urban legends and unexplained phenomena. Share your thoughts and any similar experiences you may have had in the comments below. And remember, the next time you find yourself on a lonely road at night, keep your eyes open. You never know what mysteries might be lurking just beyond the reach of your headlights.